a little bit in detail what do you meant by the build verification testing. I know that you means you have been given the right answer, Pranisha, but to have a detailed level of information across the team, I just wanted to give you the what you meant by the BVT. Okay, build verification testing, guys. You should don't get confused. BVT versus BVA. So we do have build verification testing and the build verification, sorry, boundary value analysis. Okay, so this expansion is different, this expansion is different. So this is build verification testing, boundary value analysis. So this is one of the testing technique and this is one of the testing type. Many of the people, when I ask the definition of BVA, the people used to give me the BVT, or when I ask the question for the BVT, the people will be giving the BVA answer. Once again, you need to remember. So BVA means boundary value analysis. This is a testing technique, and BVT, it's a type of testing, build verification testing. Now let's see what you meant by build verification testing. Now for an example, the same example I used to give, I don't know if you've seen the videos, I might be giving the same thing, but let's do the same thing. I don't want to make the change. Now usually I'll go for the Gmail. Okay, now we were trying to test the Gmail version 1. Okay, in the version 1 I do have inbox and outbox. These are the two functionalities which we have been given. Two functionalities we have been given for this, inbox and then outbox. Now version 2, okay, I'll be giving trash and outbox. Oh sorry, trash and then spam. So you know, right, in your Gmail you'll be having inbox, outbox, trash and spam mails. Okay, now version 1 we have been tested all, so and everything is passed. Now current we are working on the version 2. Now currently you are working on this. Now in this particular version, trash functionality, spam functionality should work. So the prominence of this particular build, is having the trash functionality and the spam functionality. Now consider that if trash functionality itself having a problem, it's not working, means the trash itself, it was getting failed. Will it require to go for all the smoke test cases, and will it require to go for the functional test cases? Will it require to go for the all the regression test cases?
No.
See, now what do you mean by smoke? Smoke, we will just check whether all the functional, whether the application is ready for testing or not. So the readiness of the testing, we will be doing it. I told you, right, when you're going for a war, you'll make sure that sword is ready, shield is ready with you. So that is what the smoke test means, whether the application, when you have been navigated to the Gmail, so whether you are able to navigate to the Gmail URL or not, whether you are able to log in or not. When you have been logged in, went to the trash, we click on this trash. So the trash has to be shown for us. If trash is not working, or if spam is not working, is it worth to test this particular build? Absolutely not. So this is called build verification testing. So what is the prominent of that particular build? First, we will test that particular functionality. And if that functionality fails, we will halt our, or you will exit our testing process. So this is called build verification testing. If build verification testing passes, then you'll check all other functionalities. Then you'll check whether the outbox is working or not, inbox is working or not. All the smoke test cases, you'll be checking it. And all the functional level test cases, you'll be doing it. And all the regression level test cases, you'll be doing it. So that is what the prominence for a build verification testing. Okay, so first you need to start with the build verification testing, then you need to go for the smoke, and then you need to go for the functional, and then you need to go for the regression. So this is what the hierarchy of the testing which you need to follow. And after this all, so here it comes for the non-functional testing. So in the non-functional testing, we do have the compatibility and other categories of testing which we wanted to perform. So this is where the BVT talks about. Is it clear? What do you meant by BVT? BVA, anyways, we have the testing techniques. So there we will discuss about the BVA and ECP, equivalent class partition. So those particular categories of testing, we will do it over there. Okay. So as of now, So you need to understand what you meant. So what do you meant by BVA and what do you meant by BVT? So as of now, we discussed only the BVT, not about the BVA. That we will park it later. Any questions on the BVT, smoke, functional regression? All clear? Any questions or any doubts in this?
Hi Krish. Actually, the VVT I want to ask that the VVT is when a developer deploys its code in an environment. So when we check that environment particularly for that build for the new update, so that's called VVT too.
Guys, you are missing one pointer. Developer will do some testing. What is that type of testing?
White box testing, unit testing.
Unit testing.
Yeah, so that you need to call it as unit testing.
Unit testing.
Okay, now this is from the black box testing. This is from the black box testing.
No, I am saying
I'll
when
just
they
come. I'll just come back there.
okay,
I'll come back there. Okay. So now who will be doing the black box testing?
testers.
Testers will be doing it. Now this phase is the starting phase for the testers only. But now before starting the BVT, when the developer gives us, so he will perform the unit test cases and then he will give it to the black box testing. Now, when you start the black box testing, so this is what the starting area.
Okay.
So now what is the ending area for the development? Unit testing is the
Unit
ending
testing,
point
yes.
for them because they will write the code, they will do all the building and they will run the unit test cases. If unit test cases passes, then only they will give us for the black box testing. If unit test cases fails, then they will not even give to the black box testing at all.
So I am getting one.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Okay, so now the unit testing will be performed by the developers. They will should
Developers.
make sure that whatever the code they have written, whatever the build they have been given it, for example, they have been given this particular build. Now whether this particular build will work or not, so that is what they will do the unit testing. If unit testing is failed, then there is no point, it will not come to us at all.
Okay.
So that's where we need to make sure that whenever someone has been given something to us, we need to ask them, can you share me the unit test results?
Okay.
Can you please go to
Okay. Sure.
Fine.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Did you understand what do you meant by BVT? So the over means as of now we have been discussing about only the build verification testing. So how to do the build verification testing, or what do you meant by build verification testing, and what would be the hierarchy of our testing? Okay, now let's go back to another point or another question. Can you tell me what do you meant by exploratory testing? I'll ask Manidhar, what do you meant by exploratory testing? Manidhar, you there? Guys, you're able to hear me?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Krish.
Hello.
Yeah, Manidhar.
Sir, hello. Is it audible?
Yes, it is. More informative. What do you mean by exploration? Okay, I'll give you a small example. Now I went for Hong Kong. Okay, I don't know anyone there. I just wanted to visit some of the places. Now what I'll try to do, then I'll just go and then I don't know anything, the geographical location or what are the places I need to visit in Hong Kong or anything. So I just went there. I just landed in the airport and then I went to some travel agency and then I'll ask, boss, what are the places I can visit over here? Then they'll say you can go here, these are the packages are there. So then I said, okay, I don't want to take up the package. I just started to explore this city. I just walk on the roads and then I'll see the map. According to the map, then I'll try to follow the Google Maps and then I'll try to go. Means I'm trying to explore something, means which I don't know. I don't know anything there. And I'm trying to explore something there. So this is called exploratory testing. So now we don't know anything there and we are trying to explore something and then we are trying to do the testing. So now I don't know application. I don't know anything. So now I given you a fintech application, means a banking application. You don't know anything about the functionality of that particular application, but still what you will try to do, you will explore around the application and then you will try to test that particular application. Then this is called exploratory testing. So why we will do this exploratory testing is in crunch of time, or if we don't have the proper KTs given, if you don't have the proper documentations, means how the functionality works. If you don't know these things, then we will try to do the exploratory testing.
Explore.
Okay, you should know when and why we will do this exploratory testing. So when we don't have the proper KT given, or when we don't have the domain knowledge experts, or when we don't have the proper documentation, then we can go for the exploratory testing. But always exploratory testing is a dangerous. Okay, now come back to ad hoc testing. What do you mean by ad hoc? Ad hoc. What is the English meaning of ad hoc?
That's not a part of automation. That's
Random, unplanned,
finding the response time. It's a temporary.
Ad hoc means random,
unplanned,
unplanned,
Unexpected.
sudden.
yes.
Okay, for an
Without
example,
planning.
if at all it's like a heart attack situation, sudden heart attack, we'll go for an emergency. Okay, it's not planned. So heart attack is in a sudden unexpected thing, and what it required, immediate assistance is required for that. Same way, ad hoc testing also will come suddenly. If something happens suddenly, then that means you need to test something. See, for example, there is a production bug. Now you are making you are buying some product in Amazon. When you are buying the Amazon, you are trying to make a payment, but the payment without accepting any cards, it was saying that the payment was successful. Is it not a big issue for them? Means all the products anyone can buy for free of cost. So that's the biggest bug. So immediately means that's a heart attack situation. You stop all, first you fix this bug, and then you can proceed further with this. So then immediately the people will start doing this, means they will leave all the things and then they'll come for this ad hoc testing. They will not have the test case, they will not have the documentation, they will not have any prerequisites, but just they know that they need to fix up this. So this is called ad hoc testing. When something emergency comes into the picture, they will not have any particular documentation or anything. So immediately they will jump into this particular testing and they will perform that particular test and then they'll go away. So this is means usually they will do it for all the production bugs, or these are called as hot fixes. Hot fixes means all the people will be on their toes. So now any emergency, the production issues comes into the picture, it will be means all your regular works should be halted, and then you will take that and then you'll fix it. See, suddenly if you means you are working and suddenly you got means, okay, that should means I'm taking some random example, any emergency came, you will run to the hospital. So that's what ad hoc. The same way, now something happened, means an emergency in the testing perspective, some bugs came, so then you'll jump into that and do that ad hoc testing and then you'll come back. So this is called ad hoc testing. Okay, so exploratory testing, ad hoc testing, and BVTs and smoke regression, and functional, non-functional, compatibility, monkey testing, and alpha beta testing. We have been read through all the alpha beta testing also in your when we are trying to do our levels of testing. We have been done with the alpha beta testing, and then we have been even talked through the integration testing. What else? What are the other
Performance
categories of testing? Sorry.
Sanity testing.
Dynamics testing.
But in your
Performance testing.
Performance testing we have been discussed in detail.
Static and dynamic
That's
testing.
what I'm thinking.
We did not discuss.
Maven is not there.
Okay,
Boiler
what do you
testing.
meant by static and dynamic testing? To me means, what's your understanding on that, Amitabh?
Static testing is a way of software testing where the application of software without executing the code, where we don't need to execute the code. So there we call that the static testing, and dynamic testing where we when we execute the code and run it and run the code, then it's a dynamic testing. So static testing is generally done to avoid the errors in early stages so that you can find the errors and fix it as soon as possible. That's
I'll
it,
give you
please.
1 second. I'll just opening that particular site. Okay. So now, did you means everyone understood the static and dynamic? Any questions around this? Any questions? Okay, if you don't have the questions, then I have the question. What do you mean by executing of a code?
Where the code, we run the code. I mean, compile and then run the code.
See, now when you are
Testing
doing
the
the
application.
testing, that means see, now both ways you're testing the application. In the dynamic testing, you are testing the application. In static also, you're testing the application. Then what is the difference between a dynamic testing and the static testing?
In static testing, we will check all the documents we prepared and test plan what we prepared. We'll check all the documents, test cases, test planning, all these are in static. That means we will not execute the code. We just check whether the requirements are met in early stages.
Who does dynamic testing and then static code? Means who does the static code testing?
Static testing was done by business analysts, architects,
QA, I think. Static testing is done by QA.
and dynamic testing is done by QA team.
See, the basic answer, that's where I just opened it here and then I was just trying to show you. So how it would be looking like. See now, what do you meant by means to have your understanding? Now you need to wear two caps. One is normal tester's cap and another cap is automation testing engineers. So both the caps you need to wear. If you see the static testing, there you have the reviews and etc. In the dynamic testing, functional and non-functional. Who does the functional and non-functional? QA will not do the functional and non-functional.
Yes, they do.
They will do that. They will do that.
They'll do that.
See, now what you need to understand is you shouldn't get confused. I know that I only confused you people, but asking, but still for getting you the more information, I was just asking you this one. What do you meant by this particular code execution? Hope you guys are seeing my screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So now if you see here, developer writes the code. So now, okay, so dev team will write the code. And to run this particular code, what he need to do is he need to do a build. Okay, what do you meant by build? When you went into Java trainings, we will talk about the what do you meant by building and compiling. Okay, so here they will do the build and compile, and then the code is ready, and then it would be up and running. And when it is up and running, so you can see the front end website like this. Once this site is ready, then you can proceed further with your testing, functional testing, non-functional testing, and all this. So this is called dynamic testing. And here even you will be involving the unit testing, unit test cases. All these things also will be part of this. Because once after doing the build and compile, so you will be running your all unit. Once it's up and running, you will run your unit test cases and the hierarchy of your cases, right? So the BBT, smoke, functional, stand, these all things will be done. Okay. Now, when we have the static testing is it will be majorly means if you see here, this particular dynamic testing will be done by whom? QA, dev team, everyone can do, because developer will done the unit test cases, QA will be doing the functional and non-functional test cases. Now who will do the static testing?
BA, business analyst,
Product
Black box
owners,
tester.
or
product
the
owner.
the BAs, or even the QAs also. What
Okay.
exactly will happen in the static testing means they will be having the requirements. When we are understanding the requirements itself, they will run a basic workflow. Means that they will try to understand the complete requirements. They will review all that particular cases. So they will understand the complete workflows. When they try to do that particular workflows understanding itself, they will see if there is any particular bugs or anything is there in the requirements. So for example, there is any changes in the requirements or any bugs in the requirement itself. For an example, enter username and password, go to the home page. Then we need to say, boss, enter username, password, click on the login button, then it should go to this one. So the requirements we wanted to change. So means for an example, if there is any error message in this username, so then it should throw me the error message that username is wrong, or your please look at your credentials is wrong. So this error message should come. So will you want me to keep this error message here or not? So this is what you will be asking the respective client. So you check the requirement, and based upon the requirement, you didn't even tested the application, you didn't even develop the application, just you are reviewing your application and then you are trying to do it. So this is called the static testing, reviewing all your requirement documentations and all the other systems. So this is means the design documents, means how you have been designed your system. So reviewing those particular documents and then the basic code before testing all these things. So those things are called as static testing. So hope you guys have been understood, at least not into the details, but at least at a high level, you should understand what do you meant by dynamic testing, who will perform the dynamic testing, what do you meant by static testing, and who will be performing the static testing. So this is what the things you need to understand. So this, by seeing this particular picture itself, you can understand that. So what exactly meant by dynamic and then static testing.
And
Diagram.
Anna, exploratory testing, in which testing do they come in? Anna?
Explore, see now whatever other categories of testing, so this will falls into this functional and non-functional. See now, where is regression testing, where is compatibility testing, where is performance testing, where is security testing? All this will be part of this functional and non-functional. Even exploratory, monkey, ad hoc, all things will falls into this. Okay, so now if you see here in the static testing, you will be having reviews, technical reviews, walkthroughs, inspections, static code reviews. So these all things will be part of static testing. See, I told you, right? Means for an example, there is a requirement document. In the requirement document, we will be going for a formal review, and the architects will go into that, and then they will see. See, if you see here, the test strategy, test plan, and all the things, they will do the technical reviews, and they will give you the walkthrough to the complete people. And if there is anything changes or anything, they will do it. Inspection. So once they have been given, so how these are the checks, the check pointers which we need to do it. So those all things will be done in this particular and these all things are like before you start testing, you'll do all this static analysis. Then it will come for the testing, and then you'll proceed further. But in terms of agile, it will be slightly changed. But however, you should know what you meant by static and then dynamic. And if you see here in the dynamic, they have been given, see, from inputs, outputs, we will get the requirements. See, all unit testing, integration testing, system level testing, all things would be part of this. Yeah, Amitabh, you're asking me some question?
Yes, Krish. Actually, I was saying that as dynamic testing has developers involved and we are executing the code, so it is partially a white box system.
Partially, yes. I told you, right? It involves both dev team and this one. If you see here, one pointer, the dynamic, see, in the dynamic testing, unit testing will be done.
Yes.
So the developer will be done, right? Integration testing, black box tester will do. System testing, black box tester will do. That's what I told you when I'm explaining here itself. I told that it involves both, means who are the roles will be involved.
QA and developers.
Yes, will be involved in the dynamic testing. In static testing also involved, but the most prominently the BAs, POs, QAs, all people will be, because if you see here in the technical review, who will be give the technical review? Team, architect, testing team, architect. Informal reviews, POs and BOs. So those will be taking care of that. So that's how you need to understand. Okay.
Okay.
See, now none of the people none of your interviews, the people will ask you this. But you should know what are the concepts. Means if someone is doing static testing, if someone is doing the dynamic testing, what do you meant by means this? You should understand from the basics. That's where I was trying to explain you on this. Okay, cool. So any other questions on this?